Hello everyone, welcome to the Financial Information channel. In this video I'm going to give you the stock market news for today, Tuesday, July 25th, and I'm going to give you the news about the stock company earnings. One was Logitech and the other one was AMD. Now let's begin with the video. And the first company that I'm going to report is Logitech. They reported earnings yesterday. However, because they're a European company, the company reported earnings at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Now let's go to the results. Logitech beat the EPS by 1 cent and revenue by 8.76 millions, and the year-to-year growth is 10.4%. So the company did great. They announced the buyback program where they're gonna buy more shares. In addition, they updated the guidance and they had great earnings. However, the company got hammered and lost around 10% of the value. Now, the reason why it lost so much is because the company has gone up quite a bit before the earnings. Now, you can see during the stock market earnings, a lot of companies are having the same issue. Microsoft had actually great earnings and the company moved down a little bit. And then what happened on Monday was that Hasbro had I would say, great earnings. However, because the analysts were not impressed, the company dropped a huge amount. So this basically presents an opportunity to buy shares of certain companies, especially those that run the business really well. Now for the next company was AMD, and I mentioned in the weekly earnings that I'm going to put here that basically they needed to have good earnings, and the reason is they had terrible, well, they didn't have terrible, they had actually okay earnings last time and the company got hammered. So I was actually expecting an upside anywhere between 7 to 10%, and after the earnings, that's where the company has moved. And at this moment, the company is over 10%, and I do expect the company to move a little bit more after the market opens. But now let's take a look at the numbers and see how they reported. So AMD beat the EPS by 2 cents, and they beat the revenue by 60 millions. The year-to-year growth is 18.4%. So they actually had good numbers, and they announced that the computing and the graphics segments were up 51% on the year and 24% sequentially, which is always good news. But the most important thing for a high growth company is the guidance. If they don't have a good guidance, the company is gonna go down quite a bit. So in the third quarter, they announced the revenue was up 20 to 26% sequentially, with the midpoint at about 15% year over year. And that is gonna put the number between 1.5 billions instead of the analysts expecting to have around 1.39 billions. And one of the reasons why I mentioned in the weekly earnings video why I wanted to have this company beat the EPS and the revenue, because in 2016 they beat the EPS and the revenue in all the 4 quarters. You cannot have a company that is a high growth company like AMD drop the first 2 quarters. You know, that's bad news. If AMD had announced that they were reporting bad numbers, they would have dropped around 10%. Now, I don't see AMD going back to the $30 per share, and hopefully I'm right. Now, I do expect AMD to move, up and down, but not this week. I would expect the company to go back to the normal ways probably in the next week. And now I'm gonna go over the stock market news really quick. And the first thing I'm gonna do is how the market did. The S&P 500 closed at a record high. The Dow went up 0.47%, S&P 500 went up 0.29%, and the Nasdaq 0.02%. The biggest gainer in the S&P 500 is Fremont with 14.7%. The biggest decliner in the S&P is Seagate Technologies, 16.5%. The Nasdaq biggest winner was Tractor Supplies, 3.9%, and the Nasdaq biggest decliner was Seagate again with 16.5%. And in the Dow, the biggest gainer was Caterpillar with 5.9%. And in the Dow, the biggest decliner was Triple M with 5.1%. And by the way, guys, I'm going to go over the company that reported earnings today. I'm going to combine it with tomorrow's earnings. And well, that is going to be everything for today. Please leave in the comment section below if you have shares in the AMD. And if you do, are you planning to sell those shares, or are you planning to keep those shares for the long-term investment? And you can subscribe to the Financial Information channel. I want to thank you once again for watching the video. Have an excellent day and take care, my friends.